Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the midweek technical analysis. This is a continuation from our last class, which was last Monday. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump in this thing and get it started. So, with that being said, let me give a quick disclaimer. As always, this is not financial advice. Anything that I share throughout this analysis is for educational purposes only. I repeat, this is in no way financial advice. Any and everything that I share throughout this analysis is for educational purposes only. Cool beans? Cool beans. All right, let's jump into it. Looking at the DXY, I told you guys last Monday that I wanted to see price come down to the lower end of this daily fair value gap. I told you guys that once we came down in there, I expected to see some kind of reaction to that level, right? Whether we pulled back up, unable to break back above consequent encroachment or the upper level of the fair value gap and continue lower, or whether we did push higher, right, and come up into this imbalance, right? And if we did that, then I wanted to see how price reacted to those levels. I told you that um what my bias was to see the dollar continue to sell off, right? So as we look at um last last Monday, the 19th, we price was here, right? I told you guys that I wanted to see us come to the lower end of that daily fair value gap, which is right here, right? And then I expected some kind of reaction off of that level, right? We sold a little bit below it, and then on Thursday we got to pull back up into almost consequent encroachment of the fair value gap, right? We got that pull back up on what day? Thursdays. Thursdays tend to be what? A reversal day. A reversal day of what? The trend of the week. So from Monday to Thursday, what had the market been doing? Trending down. And if Thursday is going to be what it typically is, which is a pullback day, you can be anticipating that pullback up, right? So we pull back up, but as you can see, price um, refused to break and close above consequent encroachment. And I told you guys if that happened, then I would like to see us run these lows. Go back and look at the tape. I told you that if you look to the left of this low, you will see that it's another low, fairly equal lows. You know, we target those because why? Liquidity sits at those levels. Liquidity in the form of what? Liquidity in the form of stop losses, right? Sell stops, right? Price run those. So now what I'm anticipating is price pulling back up into this imbalance, right? This fair value gap that we see here, right? And if you notice that fair value gap sits on what? A monthly sell side liquidity that we just broke through last Monday, right? So there's a lot of liquidity right there. So I'm anticipating price pulling back up into those levels. We do have high impacting news tomorrow, a lot of high impacting news. So maybe that's the catalyst that we need for the dollar to pull back up into that imbalance, right? Retesting those levels before continuing lower and running this sell side liquidity from last July, which I told you guys on our last class that I wanted to see the dollar eventually make its way to throughout the rest of this year. Go back and watch the tape. So, as you can see, the analysis is in full effect and um, playing out to my liking. So yeah, let's keep an eye on the dollar. So with that said, let's look at our currency pairs, starting with Euro USD. Told you guys that I wanted to see us continue higher to reach for this liquidity, which we ran that last week, and reaching for the yearly high, right? Um, Previous year's high, right? Yeah, of course, you know I'm talking about previous years. So we are reaching for it. I'm expecting us to pull back down into some of this imbalance. The same way I'm expecting the dollar to pull back up into some of its imbalance. We know that our currency pairs inversely correlate with the dollar, mean they move in the opposite direction. So if you're expecting the dollar to pull back up, of course you're expecting currencies to pull down, right? So I'm expecting Euro USD to pull back down into this imbalance, right? Look at all this confluence we have right here with these weekly levels that we just pushed through a few weeks ago, right? On the 16th, 17th. On the 16th and the 19th, right? Which was last Monday, our last class, right? So I expect price to pull back down, right? So we could get a good discount price on this up move to run this previous year's high. Cool beans, cool beans. Looking at the pound, same thing. I want to see us pull down before continuing higher. I see some good imbalance up in here, right here. Maybe we just pull down to the monthly buy side liquidity that we just broke above on the 21st, right? And then continue higher to get on up here. Cool beans, cool beans. Looking at NZD USD, we could very well see NZD USD just continue to fly. However, we do have imbalance here, right? So I will play this imbalance first. If I take a stop there, get stopped out there, then this would be my next entry off of this imbalance here. All right. This imbalance here. I'd like to take it off of this monthly 79%. It came back down because that's inverted now, right? Let me see. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, see it come down, retest this monthly 79% and come on back up, continue higher. But like I said, as aggressive as NZD looks, it could very well just continue to fly. Come on up here into this fair value gap here, reaching for these equal highs. They look beautiful too. And that's about how many pips? Good 300 pips. So yeah, this pullback would be a good 180 something pips. So yeah, that's a good play. Long, it's gonna be a swing play, of course. All this ain't gonna play out in a couple of days. It's gonna play out in a couple of weeks, right? Either the pullback in the continuation or the fly higher. It's still gonna take a couple of weeks because what's gonna happen, the price gonna reach a little bit, then it's gonna pull back down to this monthly buy side liquidity before pushing, right? I'm dev that taking a buy if it does pull back down to this monthly buy side liquidity today or tomorrow by the end of the week is very aggressive. I'm not that aggressive. I will at least wait for it to pull back down into this fair value gap for my first attempt. And then, like I said, if I take a stop right there, my next entry would be this fair value gap here. All right, this fair value gap. And I will take that buy from there. All right. And if I get stopped out there, then I got to start reassessing my overall analysis. Period. Cool beans, cool beans. So with that being said, last but not least, let's look at our future pairs. Futures look very interesting. I told you guys last Monday that I wanted to see us pull back down into this PD array, these daily discount PD arrays, right? On the 19th, we was here, right? Told you guys that I wanted to see us pull back. We did that Thursday, right? Last Thursday, we pulled back down into those, right? Gave us beautiful buy opportunity, right? That's exactly what I wanted to see. Last week was a kick ass week, right? Then, right, price started to sell back off again, and now we're right back down to these levels. But we closed below those levels, closed with a nice little volume imbalance right here, right? Shot down to the current volume imbalance that we just broke below, right? This volume imbalance here, which is a small volume imbalance. This is a big volume imbalance, right? So looking to see like if we're gonna just come on down into this fair value gap here, right? Before we continue up, right? Or if we want to just sell all the way off down to this discount fair value, I'm sorry, discount PD array level, and before we swing higher. So we just gotta play it by ear, play it by sight right now, so to say, and see how price plays out. If I short, I would wait for price to come back up into premium PD array levels of today's candle, right? I may take an entry off of this 62, right? I might risk about 250 on that, right? If I get stopped there, um, then I will look for the buy off of those levels for ES to continue higher. But if we found respect right there, then yeah, I would play that. Um, if we found resistance right there and respected that level, and that would be a good short entry down to this fair value gap. I got stopped out right there, then I would look for a buy when price came back down and retest that level to come up and run these fairly equal highs up here, right? And that buy side of it, right? Cool beans, cool beans. But yeah, I'm very interested in to see how futures play out. But between um tonight, well, tomorrow is Thursday, and Thursdays typically tend to be what? Pullback days. Even though, I mean, yeah, we hadn't really been, we overall, we've been trending down this week. So if tomorrow plays out to be what it typically is, a pullback day, then we should see price pull back up, at least into these PD arrays, right? If not this premium, these premium PD arrays from today's price edge, right? So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how price plays out throughout the rest of Asian markets tonight and throughout London markets before New York opening bell. Cool beans, cool beans. And the same thing with NQ. All right. They both look like they would like to sell off down into um August the 13th price action. Right. Let's see if we get that, or if we get back above these PD array levels, right? We get back above these PD array levels, then we will start to target previous days buy side liquidities. Cool beans, cool beans. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's technical analysis. If these analyses add any value to you guys' life whatsoever, please feel free to like, share, and most of all, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really helps out a lot. Um, As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in, getting this knowledge and empowering yourselves. Let your family and friends know you love them while they still here, please. As always, peace and love, everyone. You know.